Hey guys, welcome to the Passive Money Podcast. We're just normal guys that have navigated ourselves out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. And we're providing you guys with this channel to share our stories with our struggles leading to our financial success.
With all that said, let's get it in. All right. So, Alex, I was looking at this article on the news the other day, and it says 51% of Gen Zers, since you as Gen Zer, you reached that threshold. It says 51% of Gen Zers are afraid of money issues that will prevent them from doing what they want to in life. It's another part of it that says 35% of them, they self-reported poor spending habits. So you being a Gen Zer and you navigated yourself out of the rat race or paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, and you're fresh. I'm saying fresh as giving you a 5 year horizon, fresh out of your mom's house. We consider that 18 years old. So what did your budget look like the day you left your mom's house? How did you set that up? What was your thought process behind it?
Okay, so when I left, I moved in at the time with my girlfriend, and she was rooming with her cousin, and her cousin's boyfriend was living there. So it's like we were splitting an apartment, two bedrooms, four ways.
So you
So
was you was house hacking before house hacking was cool, right?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess is that house hacking? I don't know.
I mean,
But I mean,
you're sharing, you splitting the bills. You moved in with your girlfriend at the time, so yeah. Whoever was renting the room to y'all was house hacking to get the bills paid.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, the rent at the time was probably 700. So we had a cheaper apartment. And then adding up all the other bills, everything came out to like 900 something. So we split it. I remember paying like 200 and like 20, $40, something like that a month.
Right, right.
That was for everyone. So I still, my bills weren't too high.
So before you continue on, did you already have a job then, or
Yeah,
what
yeah,
was your?
I had a job then. Had a job, I had income coming in from like a side hustle I had selling items online. I think that was just my main two incomes was selling things online and then the job that I had at the time. Those were the main two. And I think I had
So you
like a
did.
savings account with some low interest, which I thought was, woo, bringing in a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you move out. So before let's take it back before we go into exactly what your budget looked like. So what was your deciding factor to say, hey, I'm moving out? From a financial perspective, what made you say I was moving out the house? Was it like mom's tripping, I just gotta go, or was it
So it was more of like family issues. So I just left after that.
Mhm.
But after that, I remember. Okay, so after that, I remember moving to like my grandmother's house for like 2 days, and then then my grandmother was like, "Hey, where you at?" And so I was like, "Yeah, I can't do this." So then I just like, so I talked to my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, "No, just move in with us." So then I just did that.
Okay. So then you go through the your girlfriend and her cousin, and y'all was splitting the rent. So take me from there.
Yeah, so splitting the rent. At the time, I already had just from living at home. I mean, I had the only expenses I was paying was like car insurance. I kept my expenses really low. I wasn't really blowing my money. I had like 10 grand in savings, and then I had probably about 10, 20 grand in inventory at the time.
Okay, all right. So just so we got an understanding, most people your age, you moved out of your mom's house when?
So like 19, like right
Okay,
almost 20.
so what did you do to go from zero to 10,000? Was that all work savings, or was that work and then your side hustle going?
Yeah, I was saving a lot. I remember putting a percentage of what I uh profited from sales into savings, and then reinvest. Like I had it, I can't remember exactly how, but I had it split up into like percentages. Like this percent will go back into reinvesting into inventory. This percent I'll save because I didn't know how to actually like invest it into anything at the time.
Right.
Um, And then, paychecks were going to savings unless there was like a higher ticket item for that I could buy for inventory because sell and sold mainly antiques. So, there's all types of varieties and some cost more than others. So,
Right,
um,
right.
so it was like if something cost a couple grand or something, then I would use my paycheck to try and buy that item. And then normally the antiques, they hold their value or they, in most cases appreciate, so I could resell it at a higher price. And then what was the question exactly? As because I
The
kind
question was how did you come up with the 10,000? Because most Gen Zers don't
of
leave
okay,
the house with 10,000. Most of them leave uh maybe a paycheck in their pocket. I can't talk about me. I left with -$5 in my pocket when I left my mom's house. But most of them leave with little to no money in their pocket when they go off into the sunset of being an adult.
okay. So
So go
I
ahead, go ahead.
remember. So like I remember when I was actually making like consistent money. I remember thinking like, wow, I can like see my money grow. And so I remember $10,000 being like a psychological thing, right? So
Right, right,
like
right,
I
right.
was like, oh, 10 grand. Like to me at the time, 10 grand was like, who has 10 grand that I know? Like nobody. So to get to
Right.
that number, I set a goal for myself, and I remember it was like 2017, I think, and I wanted 10 grand before the end of the year. And I remember I was 18, turning 19 that year, and I wanted 5 grand before I turned 19, and I ended up having like 7 grand. And then after the 7 grand, I was like, well, shoot, I got 4 months left, and then I started doing the math, like how much I'm making. I was like, so I want 10 grand at least by the end of the year, and I think I ended it with like 11 grand or something. But I
Right.
think the only thing that held me back a little bit from like just saving to that amount was like the fact that I still had to keep buying inventory to keep that going. But
Right.
that's how I got to that. I really just set the goal and like made myself not lose out on that goal.